Hello guys, it's Abby and welcome back to my channel. And today's video is going to be a chill journal with me episode featuring my February recap. I realized that I have been updating my Hobonichi frequently this year and I'm very proud. You'd see all of my previous videos, I will link some of them down below, featuring me journaling in my Hobonichi cousin. So I'm just laying out some of the materials I'm using for this spread. It's actually going to be more of a bluish theme with incorporations of warm colors, so keep watching to see how I designed this spread. So actually I've already printed out the photos in advance. I used my A1 sticker paper as you can see here, and I'm just going to add it to my spread. This past month I have been really busy, but I have been diligently updating my Hobonichi, which is good. I also have been printing a lot of photos. I initially told myself that this year I would start illustrating on my journals, but apparently that is not happening and I don't really blame myself. Some days I do it, some days I don't, and it's really just a matter of my busy schedule catching up on me, and I really have no choice but to just follow along. I'm just glad that there are prompts every month to sort of keep me going. If you're keen to join our creative journaling challenge, you can always join. Every month I post the prompts on our Facebook group and also on Instagram, so be sure to follow me or join our community on Facebook so you can get updates on the new prompts and new journaling ideas and inspiration that you can use for your own spreads. So I'm just cutting up some of the elements and photos that I've printed out from my trip. Usually I try to just print four to five, because then I don't have to, printing 4 or 5 is good because it's an ample amount to sort of fill up your spread, but not fully where you don't have space to write anymore. I always want to write, so I am doing that here, and I'm just cutting up the spread. So the left side will actually be about a day trip I went to in Bataan, and the right side will be my highlights and mostly films and series that I watched over the past February. So this day trip spread, this day trip page is actually from Feb 24. So I took a day off spontaneously because my friend had extra tickets to go to Bataan, which is a province in either the northeast or northwest. I lost track of my direction or navigation, but it's 3 to 4 hours drive away from Manila. And my friend had spare tickets because her relatives didn't end up coming to the Philippines because of the coronavirus scare, so she decided to ask me and Macy and Mimi to go with her. So that's how I ended up going to Las Casas on a random Monday, because honestly I had a lot of plans that day. Actually I thought it was the week before that, and then I ended up like screwing up everything and I was like, oh my god. And then apparently it was on the 24th, so what I did was I had to be absent for one of my pottery classes, which I feel bad, but I will be back this week to sort of update and show up in my wheel classes, and also skip work. So skipping work is a big deal for me because I work a lot. And actually I'm filming this because the whole day I just slept, and today I am up at night recording this video and recording this voiceover rather. So yeah, we did go, so we spent a whole day. It's usually people go there for overnight, but honestly I don't really have time to go on overnight these days. I remember the first time I went to this part of Bataan. This is actually in Bagak. I think that was like 9 years ago. We did have an overnight, and we also went to all the heritage houses. So basically this location is called Las Casas Filipinas de Acuzar. It's a really nice place in Bataan, which features a lot of heritage houses acquired from different parts of the Philippines. And they were actually demolished on site and rebuilt in Bataan, which is really interesting and really great. So the owner, Mr. Acuzar, this is based on the stuff that the tour guide told us, is actually interested in architecture in general. I think he's either a builder or architect or a mix of both, but he did scout for really good houses to incorporate in this space, in this resort. So people get married here and take a lot of OOTDs, and when we were there was like a prenup shoot, so it's like a very like big place for that. So it has a lot of houses actually. It's a very big compound, and it's nice because I feel like it's a very nostalgic thing to be there, and you feel like you are in Spain. I had a vibe of Spain, especially because I went to Spain last year, and it was also a very old Filipino vibe, which I like because the buildings here in the urban areas are very commercial and very skyscrapers and all. Honestly, I just like my very traditional Filipino houses. And I really like the Capiz styles and all this detail with the architecture. And I hope to draw those spreads because I have not been drawing architecture for a while actually. Because I haven't been traveling since I got back from Singapore last January for work. So anyway, I'm just adding some of my elements here. And by the way, the stamp that I'm using is from Papierplatz. It is from the Bungo Joshi Stationery Fair, which I went to last December in Japan. So I will link that down below if in case you want to watch my haul. I feel like I'm well stocked up for the year actually in terms of stationery because I have not been buying that much recently except for work and for packing goodie bags, and I really don't want to be too addicted to them. I just try myself to keep myself at a minimum because I also don't use a lot of stationery. I mean, I'm very picky with what I use, so I think that's also key in terms of figuring out what style best represents in terms of stationery and my own personal preferences. And over the past years, it's actually changed. Like before, I would just buy random stickers, and now I'm really picky and I think about whether I use them or I'll just end up like neglecting them in the long run. And that's really a big deal for me because then I would know my habits, and also I don't really want to keep buying stuff if I don't need them. I am getting old, and I think because of that, I am becoming more mindful of my own purchases and my own expenses. I mean, technically, I also have work expenses, but I also have to pay the electricity and water bill and all the adulting stuff that comprises in running an office and a studio. So there's that. So anyway, moving on from my very blabbery talk about adulting. So yeah, I went on a trip, so it was really nice, and I really love spending time with Coco, Macy, and Mimi. If you're familiar with them, they're actually Candy Girls. They're from Candy Magazine. So I always tell them like it's a fangirl moment for me to get to spend time with them because when I was younger, I would just read the magazine and see their names on the staff box of Summit. So yeah, that's a fun fact because a lot of people have commented and asked me like, isn't Mimi from Candy or Toller Girl or which? I'm like, yeah, that's her. And I used to read all those magazines, and I still remember what Mimi looked like in the Witch magazine editors' letters and stuff. So yeah, it's really nice to call them my friends, and I love them. And yeah, we had a great time. I think our pivotal moment was actually singing and deciphering One Direction songs in the car, which I love because we all love One Direction. So I miss One Direction. I really love them. I really was a Directioner, and I still am. So anyway, I'm just filling up the last few parts of this spread on the left side. As you can see, I did make it very photo heavy, so that is going to be done for now. Now let's move on to the right side of the page where I mentioned would be a highlight of the films and series I watched on Netflix, and I think everything is from no. Little Women isn't from Netflix. So yeah, what the films and series I watched this February. Actually, as of this time that I'm recording this, I've watched more. So I should probably put it on my March list of highlights and roundup. So generally, I did watch a lot of interesting ones this month, and I've been doing a lot of research on cooking in general and learning the techniques. Hopefully I get more into that in the next coming weeks because I'm very interested to cook more. Like every day I've been looking forward to go to the office just so I could cook and like whip up something from my kitchen. So apart from that, a lot of friends also came over, so we did watch different series and things, and also I've been exploring a lot of different genres in terms of what I'm watching because I've recently finished Crash Landing on You. I spent like a weekend watching all the episodes, which is kind of crazy, but that's really how I watch my K-drama episodes, so no regrets. But it was also very taxing because after that I literally had no feelings or I didn't know what to do. So I decided to cave in and watch other series so I could get myself immersed in a lot of things. Actually, I'm also very excited this March because RuPaul's Drag Race is already up. If you're watching, comment down below. I really love RuPaul's Drag Race. It's something that I look forward to watching because I binge watched on all the seasons last summer while I was in Berlin. I couldn't stop laughing. I really love it. It's like pure entertainment and tea at its finest and throwing shade, I guess. So anyway, back to my highlights. I recently watched Little Women. I actually did not read the book and did not watch the earlier versions, so it was nice to watch them in this light. And also, I'm a fan of Greta Gerwig, who is the director of Lady Bird as well. I also love Saoirse Ronan, so it's a bias for me, and Timothée Chalamet. I am a huge fan, and he's one of my crushes. So it was a good movie, and I am still not a fan of Team Laurie and Amy, but you know, I am always and always will be Jo and Laurie. And personally, I feel for Jo because she reminds me so much of her and her strong attitude. So apart from that, I also started watching Sabrina, the chilling adventures of Sabrina. It's very interesting. It's very creepy, but I like it, I guess. I mean, it's just that I take it in small doses. I don't watch every night. I don't binge on it. It's too heavy for me. And I'm very interested in witchcraft, which is very weird because I don't look like I could be a witch. But anyway, I like living vicariously through watching a lot of Netflix series. And I rewatched Always Be My Maybe. I love Ali Wong, and I showed it to my mom. I told her to watch it, and she really enjoyed it. So it was great that I watched it again. I think I watched it like maybe once a month. I remember the first time I watched it, I was in Berlin. I was like, oh my gosh, I want to watch this, but I also want to get myself some Chinese takeout so I could really be, you know, hashtag relatable and, you know, be like a basic Asian person. So I did that and I really loved it, and I think I rewatched it so many times after that. So apart from that, yes, I also mentioned that I've been getting to cooking. So my friend Macy recommended, basically, it's a website by Bon Appetit. So it's inside the Bon Appetit website, and I've been looking up a lot of recipes and watching a lot of Bon Appetit videos as well. And if you are into K-drama, I highly recommend watching Crash Landing on You. It's a very interesting K-drama. I think it's one of the best ones I've watched. I've always been a Park Seo-joon stan, and I love his series, his K-dramas, because they're very realistic. I mean, Crash Landing on You, I think it could happen, but it's also very highly unlikely. But I love it because both the leads are very good in acting, and I was surprised that they're actually in their late 30s. They are so good, and they look so young, and their chemistry is really good. So I think that's why people really stand the show and really supported it. And a lot of people actually watched after the finale was aired because then you can binge watch on it. I actually watched it the weekend that finale was aired, but I finished it on a Monday, I believe. So anyway, it's very nice, and it's nice to see that it's just not all serious, it's also quite funny. And I really love the camaraderie of the comrades, the 4 guys who were there. And actually one of the guys really cute, apart from Hyun Bin, of course. I mean the 4 other comrades. So yeah, I won't spoil anything about it, but that's basically it. In terms of reading, my friend and I are sharing a New Yorker subscription for a year. I don't know why we've invested on this, but we were like, you know, we gotta get ourselves educated, hashtag students of life. So I am excited because it's on my phone and I can access all the articles from way back. So this is the final spread. I hope you enjoyed my very simple layout. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye!